All right, so if you're a freelancer, you already know the hustle is real. But here's the big question. Are you actually protecting the fruits of all that hard work? Today, we're going to dive deep into how you can shield your creative projects and really secure your career. And we'll do it with two super powerful tools, contracts and intellectual property rights. Let's jump right in.
You know, the guide we're pulling from today has a dedication that I think hits home for so many of us. It's for every single creator who's ever felt that horrible knot in their stomach, that fear that your work, your creation, is going to get stolen. It's such a common feeling, right? Well, today, we're going to turn that fear into a plan of action.
And really, this is the heart of the matter for pretty much every freelancer out there. On one side, you've got the dream, right? The freedom, the creativity, being your own boss. But then there's the other side, the fear. And it's a very real fear of having your stuff stolen, of being exploited, or, let's be honest, the worst one, not getting paid. So what we're talking about today is how to bridge that gap and make sure the dream doesn't become a total nightmare.
Okay, so where do we even start? Well, your first line of defense is always going to be the contract. And look, I get it. Contracts can feel intimidating, like a bunch of complicated legal jargon. But let's reframe that. Think of a contract as a tool for clarity. It's all about turning those fuzzy conversations and I thought you meant moments into a rock-solid, crystal-clear agreement.
And what's so cool about the source material for this is just how deep it goes. It actually includes over 30, that's 30, sample contracts for all kinds of freelance fields. You know, everything from graphic design to coding. It just goes to show you how important and how specific these agreements really need to be.
So what actually makes a contract strong? Well, it really boils down to 4 key parts that you just can't skip. First, the scope of work. This basically says, here's exactly what I'm going to do. Then, timelines and deliverables. That's the when. Next, payment terms, and this one is huge. It locks down how and when you get paid. And last but not least, ownership and IP rights, which decides who owns the final product. Nailing these 4 things, that's your entire foundation.
Okay, so we've covered the agreement part. Now let's talk about the actual work you're creating. Having a solid contract is absolutely step one, but understanding and protecting your creative assets, your intellectual property, is every bit as important. Seriously, for a freelancer, your IP isn't just some side thing, it is your business. So what in the world is intellectual property, or IP for short? Let's break it down super simple. It's basically the legal protection for anything you create with your mind. We're talking about your unique designs, that clever bit of code you wrote, those amazing articles. IP law is what says, hey, you made this, so you get to control it.
Now, the type of IP you'll probably run into most often is copyright. And here's the cool part. The moment you create something original, whether it's a blog post, a photo, some code, or a design, bam, it's automatically protected by copyright. That gives you the exclusive right to say who gets to copy and share your work.
Okay, next up, we've got trademark. Think of it this way. If copyright protects the thing you made, a trademark protects your brand. It's your business name, your logo, that catchy tagline you came up with. It's what signals to the world, hey, this is from me, and it's what stops someone else from using a similar brand and confusing your clients.
And just to round things out, let's quickly touch on patents. Now this one's a bit more specialized. It's really for freelancers who are inventing things, like a brand new kind of software or a unique gadget. If you've created a totally new process or invention, a patent is what gives you the exclusive rights to it for a set amount of time.
All right, let's talk about the scenario we all dread. You did everything right. You got the contract, you know your IP, and someone steals your work anyway. Oh, it is the worst feeling. But the most important thing is not to panic. You need a plan. And that's exactly what we're going to look at next, a clear action plan to take back control.
And the plan is actually pretty straightforward. It's just 4 steps. Step 1, gather your evidence. I mean everything. Screenshots, links, you name it. Step 2, make that first contact. A lot of the time, a polite but firm email is all it takes. If that doesn't do the trick, you move to step 3. Send a formal notice, like a DMCA takedown request. And then, only as a last resort, do you escalate to step 4, taking legal action. See? Having a structure like this makes a really stressful thing feel, well, a lot more manageable.
You know, the really big takeaway here is that this is about so much more than just playing defense. Getting your contracts and IP in order, that's a massive mindset shift. It's about going from feeling like a gig worker to truly operating like a business owner who's building something real, something sustainable, and something that's protected.
And if there's one thing to remember from all of this, it's this. Protecting your rights isn't about looking for a fight. It's an investment in yourself and your professional future. It's you, the creator, putting a stake in the ground and saying, my work has value, my time is value, and my creativity deserves to be respected.
So that really brings us to the final and maybe most important question. We've talked about how to build a kind of fortress around your freelance career using smart contracts and understanding your IP rights. So I'll leave you with this to think about. Your creativity is your business. The real question is, are you protecting it like one?